And I think that it's great and I think that it's important. But speaking of NXT, the general manager of NXT, William Regal, was in a very good segment this past week on AEW Dynamite with MJF. And this wasn't originally supposed to be a part of the show, but we just have to talk about it. This segment, how go first. How do you
I
feel
actually
about
want you
it?
to go first with this one. I actually want to hear your take first. I'm gonna build off of that.
All right, so boom. When MJF cut that promo in LA and he said that he had to step up to the plate and he hits grand slams time after time after time, that man was not lying. Because we thought that the MJF versus Punk confrontation was a once in a lifetime thing. We thought that that vocal back and forth, that passion, that energy in that moment could never be duplicated. And then this man turned around a year later and created a moment that was just as important as that one. Um, I think that this is just amazing character development. It feels like they were building towards an MJF Punk, but now they found something even more interesting that is a part of MJF's past that's going to fuel him towards getting this world title that's just as important, that's just as captivating and just as interesting as an audience member. And what I will say is this, and this is going to be a very, very bold take from me. MJF, Roman Reigns, and Bray Wyatt are currently the best storytellers in professional wrestling, bar none.
Oh,
These three
period.
guys,
Period.
these
Y'all
three
can't argue with
guys
that one.
that yeah, y'all really can't. Like in my opinion, I think that MJF, while is number one, he's the most important pillar in AEW. He just hasn't been booked that way. Number two, I do believe that his ability to make you feel is what made this segment stand out. And I think that he found a way as a pompous, cocky character to make himself relatable because he faced rejection and everybody has faced rejection. But I think that what he has with William Regal is another kind of sub story under the story he has with John Moxley that's going to make this match and this feud feel so important. And I love the fact that even though it was, impromptu and they kind of had to squeak this promo out at the end because of everything that happened with Hangman Adam Page, this is a great way, to build towards this world title match as far as announcing it there. Because I think that the match is going to be in November, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for at Full Gear.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that MJF has solidified himself. I'm not going to say what you said because I want that take to be reserved for you, but he has solidified himself as easily the best storyteller in AEW and easily one of the best storytellers in the industry, bar none. And that promo segment was absolutely unbelievable. And he proved that MJF doesn't need AEW. AEW needs MJF. And that's how I'm going to finish my little spiel. But I definitely want to hear your take on it.
No, everything you said was spot on and wonderfully said, honestly. I was so taken back by this segment for just so many reasons. Just when we first were introduced with MJF, he was a cocky, condescending, in your face heel. And I never thought to myself like that this man could ever possibly be a babyface, a believable babyface, with at least
Mm-hmm.
not without being somehow condescending. But what I loved about this was they managed to take one of the greatest heels of all time, that is William Regal.
Mm-hmm.
And it took someone like him and an actual personal antidote that I love how they tied it in together so tight and neatly is and they managed to um use a legend like Regal to physically break down MJF before the audience's eyes. Like that line where he said that he wanted to I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. K-word himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um because of that rejection, that had my jaw dropping on the floor before the promo even ended. 'Cause I was like, "Holy crap, there's a way to actually add character development to this man." Like he already has like a really over gimmick. And some people feel like that, that's all that he does. He could just say mean things, and that it's funny, but it's gonna wear out. No. This was important and this was so pivotal because I never thought again that they could make this man into a believable babyface. So for him to get
Mhm.
vulnerable and it took someone like William Regal just basically like treating him like the gum at the bottom of his shoe, just telling him about himself, things that he did not want to hear. Just saying like, hey, like you got to prove yourself. Like you're
Right.
talking all this smack that you think that that you're the guy. You never earned jack diddly shit. You have to prove yourself to me. That's why I didn't take your ass in back then, and that's why you don't got a strap on you now. Cause what have you done besides
Right.
run behind everyone else and run your fucking mouth at the same time? Like,
He really did
William
that.
broke
Yeah.
this man down. That whole thing with the brass knuckles where he's just like, I don't need these things. Like, you hit people with your freaking ring. I don't need this shit. I hit people with this because I like to, bitch. And he turned around. A few minutes after saying this, turned around. It's just like, all right, he's going to do one of the little gimmicks. Hit me, pussy. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me.
Right.
Oh, you're not? Punk ass bitch. That's what I thought. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that shit was amazing because you just watched just like him come in with this inflated ego, like he's gonna break down someone else because that's what MJF is known for. No matter who you are, what's your title, if you're a legend, if you have a belt on you or not, MJF is used to breaking you down. And
That's a
William
fact.
Regal with ease split this man into two. Like the craziest part was you're not used to seeing MJF be left speechless.
Mhm.
People weren't pointing that part out. That was the first time that this man was ever left speechless.
Oh, second time.
William got
Second
the
time.
last word.
That
Second
was the
time.
second time. Punk was the first time.
Punk was the first one. My apologies. Thank you for that correction, Jordan. Second time. Okay? And it was done even better than Punk. Because
Right.
again, like, whatchamacallit, William Regal brought out this vulnerability. I was like, wow, this is fucking great. This can't get even better. And then I mean, I'm so sorry what had happened with Hangman, but it's kind of as if the universe kind of lined up things to happen the way it did on purpose because the way that they went about it with
Mm.
freaking MJF coming down with the ref and acting like he's going to take full advantage of this situation, this really fucked up situation, and beat Mox and just have him, be a condescending chicken shit heel. But he actually pledged that he's going to do something he never done before and actually try and earn it. Try and earn it. Two things that MJF is not known for doing.
Right.
Like now he has to actually prove something. He has to prove himself. That to me was just mind boggling. Like
Mm.
literally, I was shaking and screaming while I was watching this and being a full on mark. Cause I was just like, wow, they really managed to turn this man into a babyface. So that moment when he does get the gold, we already want to see him with some gold. We've been wanting to see him with some gold since he feuded with Jericho. We were all on his side. But now when he gets it, and building off of what Jordan just said with how there's like a little B plot into the A plot, it's going to be so much more rich and juicier. Like, I feel like when he wins his belt, there's going to be like a standing ovation because not only is he going to be probably one of the biggest baby faces in the company once he does get that belt, because he literally had to face his own demons.
Right.
Again, he did say that he wanted to harm himself off of the rejection. When he gets it, like it's going to be such an overwhelming standing ovation. And I just think this is just like one of the best storylines in wrestling going on thus far. It has my full attention. Um, and another thing I just want to add on is just that I feel like they should have been done stuff like this with MJF. But I'm not mad about this long term storytelling. It's just that you already had what you wanted in Punk, the stuff that we love about Punk. You already had all of that with MJF. He's young, he's fit, he gets it. He's used to being in front of the camera. He understands presence. He's a mixture of the old and the new. He's a very great and safe worker. Um, and he's very unique. He has this authenticity that no one else is going to be able to replicate. He's not.
Right.
Like when I look at MJF, I don't really think about really anyone else. Yeah, I just said like, you kind of get what you want out of Punk with MJF, but MJF is like his own person. He's his own entity.
Mhm.
And he does what he does so well. And I felt like Tony, if he if he didn't understand before the incident happened and MJF wanting to leave, you know, like he better recognize now like the money that he has in MJF because this is the homegrown talent you should have been putting a
Pushing.
lot more effort into.
Right.
Like I understand that he wants to appease his EVPs and his buddies here and his buddies over there. Your money needs to go into this man because he's already building a legendary career at 26 years old. Like he's not even touching 30 yet. And he's pulling off one of the greatest storylines to ever go down in history with this little feud with Regal, and then how it's gonna intersect into like John Moxley. Like, yo, I'm not gonna call you cokehead today. Tony Khan, can you please get your shit together and see what you have with MJF? All right, this man is money. This man is generational. He is the future. Okay, I just have to give that another like applause because that promo was insane. Like they smoked NXT with that. There was no way they were going to top that level of storytelling.
Yeah.
It was just amazing, man. I'm so sorry. I'm being a mark right now.
But we all,
it was so good.
We all are marks. I'm gonna end it on that note.